You're watching Local Edition. My name is Brad Pomerance. Thanks for joining us again. We're joined by Neil Derry. Neil is a member of the Board of Supervisors in San Bernardino County. He's running for re-election. That election will be held in June 2012. Sir, thanks for joining us.
My pleasure.
I want to talk to you about the process of realigning the responsibilities behind prisons. As you know, the California legislature passed a law which provides that county jails will now incarcerate lower-level felons, non-sexual, non-violent, non-serious. The date, October 1st, is when all this has happened. Talk to us about that process in San Bernardino.
Certainly. Well, we're still developing it since
Right.
it hit us pretty hard, but our staff has done a pretty good job meeting with the district attorney, the sheriff, and probation to try to work through those issues. What it really comes down to is the state of California is incapable of doing its own job. It is now trying to kick it off to the counties.
Well, let's talk about that because, you know, there is an argument on the one hand that government is best when it's local.
Right.
And as a result, if you have prisoners in local jails, they'll be closer to their families, to the services once they're released. What about that notion?
Well, we've got enough prisons to where that's pretty much the case right now anyways. What it comes down to, state prisons.
As opposed to county jails.
Right. It simply just should not take $50,000 a year to house a single prisoner. Counties can do it cheaper, that's right, but it's because the state's not competent.
Although, could one argue that part of the reason why the states, it costs more money is because there's a greater intake in the prisons. They have to be more concerned about health care because the visits are longer, whereas in the counties, because the sentences are shorter, they don't have as many constraints.
I don't think so. We generally use, our prisoners are actually taken care of by ARMC, the local county hospital. We have services on demand and are required to take care of all conditions as well. They may be longer in state prison, but I don't think that is really the cost factor.
I also want to talk about funding questions. The state did provide funding to every county to handle these responsibilities for the first 9 months of the program, started October 1st. San Bernardino County got $27 million. There's a major concern that the state will not continue to fund the cost of this incarceration, and yet the responsibility will still fall on the counties. Are you concerned? I'm
very concerned. The state has a track record of devolving programs to local governments and then failing to fund them in the future. They've done it with the vehicle license fees for cities, and I expect it will continue. And with the budget being tight, even tighter next year, I'm not convinced that that funding is going to be there in the following years, and we'll have to bite the bullet and take it out of our general fund.
Now, Governor Brown has said that he wants a constitutional amendment passed that will guarantee funding to counties for this program. In order to get a ballot initiative out of the legislature, he would need 2/3 vote.
That's correct.
Do you believe he could do that?
I don't.
You don't?
I don't. I don't think Sacramento's going, the legislators in Sacramento are going to tie their own hands any further than they've already been tied. And I'm not confident that the legislature will do the right thing.
The other option is you have a ballot petition circulate. The county governments have talked about circulating a ballot petition. What do you think about that possibility?
Well, it would have to go through CSAC since we can't use public dollars to put a ballot measure on the ballot.
CSAC is
the California State Association of Counties. And I don't know that they've got the wherewithal to do it. Counties would have to raise political action funds. We'd have to do it privately as individuals. We couldn't do it as a county. So it's a tough road to hoe. I'm not convinced that it'll be successful.
Let's just, for argument's sake, say somehow it gets on the ballot. Do you believe the voters would be in favor of an initiative like this?
I think the voters would pass it, but then it would probably end up in court in the near future. And as we are currently with redevelopment funds, we passed a measure, a constitutional amendment,
Prop 22,
to protect redevelopment funds from the state of California, and they've still gone after them.
And there is a case pending in the California Supreme Court right now, brought by the California League of Cities. If that is overturned, boy, a bigger hole in the state budget. But
well, and even with it, the revenues that the state expected are not turning up to be. They're expecting it to be about $0.7 billion or short.
Oops. His name is Neil Derry. My name is Brad Pomerance. Thank you for joining us. Back to HLN.
Today, everything you need to be entertained is ready and waiting right inside your home. Thanks to Charter Digital Cable. Sign up and you get over 100 of the most popular channels, all in crystal clear quality and sound. Plus an easy-to-use program guide that makes it simple to find all your favorites. More drama, more news, more laughs for less. Suddenly, staying in is in again. Bring your home to life with Charter Digital Cable. Call today.